My name's Scarlett Woodman and I'm an artist living and working in Bidden in Kent. I'm in my studio right now, which is actually in a stable block at the end of my parents' garden. So it's in a really quiet and secluded and peaceful spot, absolutely surrounded by trees, which I'll show you now because that really is important to my work. Trees are definitely the most dominant subject in my work, and it's our relationship and our connection with nature and the natural world that I'm really interested in. So my work is very environmentally aware and conscious. I use all reclaimed materials, and at the same time as trying to show the beauty and the strength and the resilience of nature, I also do acknowledge its fragility and try and get that across. I'm particularly interested in our relationship with our immediate natural surroundings. Obviously, during all these lockdowns, everyone's had such a huge chance and opportunity to get out and explore their immediate surroundings a lot more than they would normally. Even myself, I found so many places that I didn't know existed. I really feel like I've learned so much more and explored so much more over the last year or however long it's been. So yeah, my work really celebrates the Kent countryside which surrounds me here, but at the same time does acknowledge its fragility. It's quite scary how much land is kind of disappearing to development. So many small villages are turning into huge housing estates. So I really do try and get across the fragility of nature and that it's up to us to protect it. So this stable block was built by my dad. He's a retired builder, which is again really important to my work because it's old salvaged building materials that I use. So I have quite a huge collection. My boyfriend is also now a builder, so he brings me back loads of stuff. I've kind of used up all my dad's interesting things. And then, people give me things. I kind of go out and go to the salvage yards. Unfortunately, we do get a bit of fly tipping around, so I kind of pull out things from that to work on as well. So I'll just show you. So loads of metal going on there. And quite a bit of wood as well, and old tiles, anything I can find really. Corrugated iron is a material I use a huge amount. So I've got a piece I'm working on here. It's really nearly finished. I'll just show you this. So I really like the rusted and the fragile edge of this. Really brings that fragility across. So what I do with a lot of my work, the process is I paint it, quite often white. That really does get the fragility across. Again, it really softens these hard, solid, harsh materials, and then I scratch back into the surface. So corrugated iron particularly, I keep coming back to. It's a very familiar material in the landscape, even though it's this man-made material. It's very familiar. We see it so often on farm buildings and that kind of thing. And kind of almost by covering it with plants and trees and foliage and like trailing branches and leaves, I think the softening effect of me working on the material is quite similar to the effect nature has within the environment as it overtakes the materials and buildings. That again has a kind of softening effect. So that's kind of what I'm trying to replicate, I suppose. Silver birch trees I'm really drawn to. Again, they're just the perfect symbol of the strength. They're the pioneering species. They can grow in the most unlikely environments, but at the same time their appearance is so papery and soft, so you really get that kind of strength, resilience, but also fragility coming across.